I saw a study just recently that was very interesting about strengths. We all have strengths and we all have weaknesses. On a survey done by Gallup, over half the people in the United States said that they focus on their weaknesses to try to make them stronger. That was a surprising statistic to me. If we study our strengths and focus on our strengths, we will like what we're doing better because we like doing our strengths. So if we focus on our strengths, we will make much more progress than if we're focusing on our weaknesses. Now, we can't ignore weaknesses, but what we do is focus on our strengths and try to adjust weaknesses. If we make those two concentrations, we will move much more rapidly forward. We are, as human beings, creatures of habit. Habits can be very good. They are things that without them, our days would take twice as long to get through. But some of our habits are also very bad, and those habits pull us backwards. What we need to do is identify the good habits that we have, and some of those good habits are very simple things that we don't think about, and that's why it's important. When we wake up in the morning, we just go through a routine, we get out the door, and don't have to think about it, and possibly we're able to think about other things and get our day planned while we're getting on the road to wherever we need to get to. So those are the good things that happen in habits. The bad things that can happen in habits are I'm late all the time. I don't like smoking. I don't like being overweight. All of those are easy cures. If I stop smoking, I won't smoke anymore. If I don't eat as much and exercise more, I will not be overweight. If I get there on time, I won't be late. Easy to say, hard to do because they are habits. And one of the things we will work on is when we know what it is we really want, then we have to find out what habits might be keeping us from getting there, and then we will work on those habits, and they are much easier to fix when there's something important that they are standing in the way of. One of the things that many people see when they're looking at change is, oh, I have so far to go. It's such a distance. I don't know that I could ever get there. And part of what makes it difficult is that they're seeing such a long distance. One of the things that my dad taught me many years ago that's been very beneficial to me all my life is that if I work harder than everybody else, I'm going to pass 90% of the people immediately. I didn't especially believe that when I was young, but it was something that he programmed into my brain over and over and over. And one of the other things that he pointed out, it isn't a matter of going to work, it's a matter of working hard. The other thing that I learned, when I work hard, I feel good. At the end of a day, if I have worked hard, I really feel good. It's when I sit around and it's kind of a doggy day that I feel bad at the end of the day. So I was very fortunate. I was programmed originally to work hard. That was something that I needed. But one of the things that as participants you will find is that once you start working hard, you make giant leaps, giant strides, and you move very rapidly. That's the fun of working hard. The other thing that I learned through the whole process is the difference between good and great is usually just a slight edge. And that's what we need to continually work on and think about. It's not some giant thing that we need to work on. It is just a slight edge. I studied golf a number of years ago, but golf is no different than any other sport. There's such a little difference between number 1 and number 20. Last year, Vijay Singh was the number 1 golfer in the world, money-wise. He made $6,600,000. His average round of golf was 70.27 strokes. Number 20 on the tour last year was Steve Stricker. He made $2,500,000, which is a nice sum of money. Most people would enjoy making that. His average round was 71.44. The difference between Vijay and Steve Stricker was $4,100,000. but the difference in strokes was less than a stroke and a half per round, every round. Steve Stricker could have come off the golf course. I know he came off the golf course and could have found a stroke and a half with ease. Oh, if I just would have done this, if I just would have done that, he would have picked up a stroke and a half, which would have meant he would have been the #1 money winner. It would have increased his earnings $4,100,000 last year had he done that during the match rather than thought about how he could have done it after the match. What we will be working on in this class is how do we find slight edges? How do we find things that with just a little tweak, just a little change, will get us to those goals much faster? When somebody has decided where they want to go, there are 3 things that are very beneficial in helping them move forward. The first is a desire. If I don't have desire, I'm not going to move forward. I have to identify what success is. Most people, if you ask them if they wanted to be successful, would say, oh yes, I want to be successful. And the next question is, what is success? Most people stumble over that, which means even if we don't have a definition of success, even if we are successful, we are not going to know that we were successful because we don't know what it is that we did. So I believe that success is moving toward predetermined, worthwhile, personal goals. Moving forward is key there. Many people think success is the end of a journey someplace. I work, and eventually get there, and then I'm successful. Success I look at as the journey. The success is the journey that is taking us to where we want to go. And when we look at that as being a success, it helps us along the way. Many people get discouraged along the way thinking that success doesn't happen until I get to the end of the journey. That's not correct. The journey is it. And I have to have the desire to go there.